Now we are going to start with the new topic of the chapter body fluid and circulation, that is the ECG or electrocardiograph. And in previous video lecture we have discussed about the cardiac cycle and double circulation. So this is the next topic related to our heart, and electrocardiograph, let us know about something basic information we have observed in our daily life as we go to the hospital. In a hospital there is a big screen along with the patient, and from that screen the body of patient connect to that screen or connect to a machine that directly connected to the screen with the help of a number of leads or electrical leads. So the machine create a sound of this is represented here, sound of beep 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 beep. So this sound gives some information, or these sounds represents some information from that machine in the form of a diagrammatic way, and this diagrammatic form of electrocardiograph is known as electrocardiogram. So first let us define what is the electrocardiogram. Electrocardiograph is a machine, while in that machine the diagrammatic picture made, and that diagrammatic picture is known as electrocardiogram. So we can define a graphical representation. So electrocardiograph which machine create a graphical representation of electrical activity of heart during a cardiac cycle. So in one cardiac cycle, one single unit of this graphical representation of the heart appear as drawn here. So that this graphical representation, a single graphical representation, is known as electrocardiogram. So for one cardiac cycle there is a single electrocardiogram, and we can observe a number of repeated electrocardiogram, which is a graphical representation in 1 minute, and that may be about 72, because the graphical representation represents one cardiac cycle, and in 1 minute about 72 cardiac cycle becomes complete. So in this way this machine help the doctors to find out the heartbeat rate of the patient for clinical diagnosis and clinical observation during the disease or during the abnormality in heart or related to heart. Now, how we can obtain ECG? How we can obtain ECG? So ECG can be categorized into two categories: a standard ECG and the second is a detailed ECG. So in this video lecture we will only discuss about the standard ECG, which is common for diagnosis of a number of problems in the patient of heart abnormalities. So in the standard ECG, a patient connected to machine with a number of leads, electrical leads, and that leads for standard ECG there are three electrical leads connected to the body of patient from the electrocardiograph. Now, what are the three electrical leads which are connected to our body, and which parts of body we discuss here? So first, one leads to each wrist. So it means here there are two leads, one from left wrist and one from one to the right wrist connected, and one to left ankle. It means here we use a single lead, electrical lead. So overall 1 plus 2, there are 3 leads required to obtain a standard ECG of any patient. Now, how we can calculate the number of heartbeat from this diagrammatic representation, or what are the different cardiac function or cardiac activity involved to create this structure on the machine which is known as electrocardiogram. Now here in the diagram we can easily observe the first small wave which is represented by P, then a small downward wave which is represented by Q, then it is go up which is a large wave, then comes down to create a small wave which is as S, then it proceeds towards the then again smaller wave which is represented by T. So this complete diagram contains total 5 peaks for the waves. So this peak or these waves can be categorized into 3 categories. The first category of P wave. So P wave represents the excitation of the atria or depolarization of the atria. P waves represents the excitation or depolarization of atria. It means during this P wave or excitation or depolarization, the contraction of both the atria means during P wave represents the contraction of both atria, which is technically termed as excitation or depolarization of the atria. Now same thing for the ventricles also, but in during ventricular contraction there is a large wave created, and these waves termed as QRS complex. So QRS complex is responsible for depolarization of the ventricle. It means in this wave represents the ventricular contraction. It means both the ventricles becomes contract to represent the QRS complex. Then after contraction, or when this QRS complex represents 2 actions. The first action is ventricular contraction, and the second action is the recovery of the atrial chamber. It means the relaxation of atrium. It means QRS complex responsible for both the contraction of ventricle as well as relaxation of atrium, because both the process take place simultaneously. The ventricles becomes contract and the atria becomes relaxed. So QRS complex for this purpose. Now the last one is the T wave. So T wave is responsible for depolarization of the ventricle. It means after contraction of ventricle, the ventricles also get back to its original condition, that means the relaxation of ventricle. Which is represented by T waves. So these 3 groups of the waves together represents a complete cardiac cycle. So we can find out, or how we can find out the number of heartbeat by using this way or this diagrammatic representation of a standard ECG. So it is observed that one QRS complex is equal to one heartbeat. It means by counting the number of QRS complex from the given diagrammatic representation on the screen, we can find out the heartbeat rate per unit time, which is normally 72 times per minute. So one major advantage of this ECG is the things we have saying that to find the number of heartbeat or to find the heartbeat rate of the patient. And the other advantage of ECG is what we can easily observe a similar diagram for a number of individual of human being on the ECG. But if we observe any deviation from these waves in this diagrammatic presentation on the screen, so any deviation from the normal structure or from the normal diagram may lead to some heart abnormalities or heart disease. So to diagnose heart abnormalities or heart disease, we can also use the ECG. So there are two main functions for ECG, there are two main role of ECG: to diagnose disease by counting or by finding the heartbeat rate, and the second by observing any deviation from the normal diagrammatic representation of ECG. And by using this information, the doctor can diagnose a number of diseases related to our heart, because this diagram only represents our cardiac activity or our heart activity. So this is all about the electrocardiograph, which gives us the electrocardiogram in the form of a diagrammatic presentation.